Oh, your YouTube channel, okay? I'm not sure the YouTube channel, but I type in post. That's what I do. I don't know how to share a YouTube. We're live. Oh, and we're live. Okay. We're all chit-chatting about sharing the YouTube channel. So tonight, before we started, we got into a conversation about stuff. Like needing stuff, it tends to bog you down. And the reason you have a lot of stuff is because you're attached to something. So when you start to get rid of things that you don't need, so let's clarify what we need. We need food, we need shelter, we need water, we need air. And that's pretty much it as far as needs go. Yeah, you can put clothes on. So clothing. So, but reality is the needs are minimal. Actually, you don't need clothing, but it's good if you have it, right? Okay. So, the things that keep us alive. So we tend to attach to or looked at, never touched. I had things that still had the tags on them. I had, craziness in my life, right? And I have set myself free from that. And I had a master monk tell me to do that. He was like, what do you need? What do you really need, right? And the truth is, we don't need what we think we need. And it consumes us and it weighs us down, and then we tend to cling to those things, and the things that we cling to the most are usually the things that we need to get rid of the most, because that's what's weighing us down. So, and I've done it, so I can speak to it because I've done it. There are things that attach, and we keep them and we hold on to them because, for what? I don't know. But we do it. So once you start cleaning things out, it's like when your kitchen is dirty and you go in and you clean it up and it's all sparkly and clean and it feels really good. Like you're like, oh, that's great. It feels good. That feeling is like the feeling that you get as you get rid of stuff. We resist it because we're attached to the things and we don't really want to do it. And we tell ourselves it's going to be hard, but it's really not as hard as you think. And once you start, and I'm not saying you have to get rid of everything in your house. That's not what I'm saying. But think about the things that you have. Are they necessary? Is it something that you really, really need? Or could you do it without it? Is it something that you could give to someone else to help them? Really, in Thailand, where I spent 9 months, it was okay. Like somebody gives you a gift and you're not going to use that gift, and you'll never use that gift right in front of that person. It's okay to say, "Oh, I won't use this. Do you want this? Will you use this?" And they're like, "Oh, good. They can use it. That's good." Because they're happy that someone else can use it. It doesn't matter who. See, that's our ego. That's our attachment. When we think, oh, I gave that to you and you're giving it away. No, you can't do that. Well, yes, they can, because you gave it to them. That was a gift that you gave, so it's no longer yours. Your ego will make you think that you have the right to say, no, you can't. But it's not. It's not true. You have that person has the right to do with whatever it wants, and if it to somebody that needs it. Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a beautiful thing that someone would do? So a lot of times our ego will do the sneak attack, sneak up on us, right? And it'll sneak in ways that we have no clue. We're just like, no, I'm good, I'm doing good, and then all of a sudden something will come in and you don't even recognize it. And then later on, you're like, that might have been my ego, right? So this is currently our situation, right? We can do that if we're not paying attention, and all of us, it happens straight across the board to everyone. Don't think it couldn't happen to you, because it can. It can happen to anybody, because we're taught this from little, you know? We're taught this. Oh, I gave you that. You can't give that away. How many times did you hear that in your lifetime? I gave that to you. That was mine, and I gave it to you because I love you. You can't give that away, right? But really, you gave it away. It's not yours anymore. Your ego is playing a trick on you. It's a tricky trickster. It plays a trick on you, and then it makes you think that you have the right to say those things, which you have the right to say anything, but is it going to help you? No, it's not going to help you. It's going to hinder your progress in this place of non-suffering, right? It will hinder you. It will make you bog down. So the more stuff you have, the more heavy you feel, the more heavy you become. Think of your kitchen when it's clean and sparkly. That's the feeling that you get when you start getting rid of things that aren't unnecessary. They're really, and like I said, this is a personal choice. You don't have to do it, but I'm telling you that I have done it, and more than once in my lifetime, multiple times, because I was at the point one time where I gave everything away, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go buy some new stuff, right? What? What is the reason for that, right? Oh, I'm going to get rid of this so I can go get something else. I said that, really, I said that at one time. So now I don't do that anymore. I really have minimal things in my life, and a lot of it is because I travel. But if we look at ourselves and say to ourselves, is this necessary in my life? What purpose is it serving? Like, that's a good indication. If you can't say, okay, this is serving a purpose, you know, like our clothes, they, cover us. So that's serving a purpose, right? Um, our furniture, as long as we don't have furniture so that you can't walk in the house, you know, it's serving a purpose, something to sit on, a bed to sleep on, those kinds of things. But really look at, when you pick something up, what purpose is it serving? I don't know. I'm here with you online. I'm sorry to say. I'm not going to read that out loud, Donna, because, it's personal. But anyway, I'm sorry too. I'm sorry you're not here, because you're beautiful, and I would like to see you here. So we just came off of a retreat. I'm switching gears, okay? We just came off of a retreat, and we were there for what, 5 days, 4.5 days? Mm-hmm. And it was intense, to say the least, because we spent a lot of time from the time we got up until pretty much the time we went to bed, learning about ourselves, right? And speaking truth about ourselves. And it's intense when you do that. Like, you don't want to hear some of the things that come out. We don't want to admit some of the things that we do and say, and then it's good because, like, you form this union, right? Everybody that's there is going through pretty much the same thing, or has been through the same thing. So everybody kind of feels that, union, and they're like uplifted, right? Everybody's up here and they're feeling good and everybody's happy. But then we leave the retreat, and see, in the retreat, we're doing our practices daily, right? We're doing our practices. Even when we think we're not doing our practices, we're doing our practices, right? And so then we leave the retreat and we don't remember to do everything sometimes that we need to do. And that can create this little glitch in the little system that you had when you were there, because there was a system. We were all together, we were talking, we were, doing chanting, we were doing our different things every single day, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're not doing it anymore. And you don't have the people that were around, everybody supporting everybody. It was a beautiful thing. I mean, everybody was supporting everybody. Everybody was like, oh yeah, I went through that, I know what that's like. It was beautiful, it was great. But then we leave and there's none of that at our homes, right? And so we're like, oh no. So then we have to remember that we have to do that for ourselves, right? We have to do that for ourselves. Like daily, we have to get up, we have to, do our meditation, we have to do our little, whatever it is that you do in the morning or should be doing in the morning, you should be doing that every day to bring all this goodness back into your heart, to remember the love inside your heart, to remember who you are inside your heart. See, we get started and it's almost like you're on this high when you're on a retreat, because everything is just there for you, and it's just rolling and it's going, and then, about yourself, right? Beautiful. Your heart is good. You're beautiful inside. These are the words you need to speak to yourself. You need to speak these words to yourself, right? Not in an ego. You got to keep your ego in check, because your ego will take over quickly, quickly, quickly. It will take over. You have to speak inside yourself loving kindness. And so what if you have to start again? We have to start again a lot. It's okay. It's all right. You're learning. But you have to be careful in this learning, because if you don't pay attention, pretty soon you're down this path that you were on before, that you just got off of, that you didn't want to be on. And then you got to go back and do it again, and you don't want to have to do that. So I'm telling you how to stay in this mode of loving kindness. So there's the eightfold path, right? There's 8 things: right view, right speech. These things right here, and I'm going to hold it up so everybody can see it. Oh, they're backwards, but I'll read them to you. Right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So what is that? Okay, this is all the things you need to do inside of yourself. So if you're having thoughts that aren't good thoughts, you need to switch them up. Do the presto changeo, switch them. You have to, have the right view inside yourself. Don't think you can't do something when you can. Have the right thoughts inside yourself. Speak the right things inside yourself. Not just outside. It's good if we're saying the right thing and doing the right thing on the outside, but really what counts is what's going on inside here. And if we can all day long, we can do, outside of us all day long. But you have to do inside. You have to believe it inside yourself. And you have to give it an effort. Now, that's a hard one, right, Donna? It's a hard one, because we want to, it's cold out. So we want to stay home and cozy up in bed. Hey, you speaking to somebody that just came from Thailand for 9 months, right? I was not looking forward to winter. And I certainly don't want to come out on a night like this when it's like, I don't know, probably 27 degrees outside. I don't want to do that, but I have to give it the effort, right? I give it the effort because I know what it does. I know what it does. Everything I speak, I do inside myself. Why? Because if I speak it and I don't do it, what good is it? It doesn't do me any good to just speak about it. I have to live it inside myself because I'm mindful and I have the right concentration. How do I do that? It's a daily thing. Daily, 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 daily. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I do a meditation. I listen to chanting. Doesn't mean you have to listen to chanting, but I do. I know what those words mean. I know what they're saying. You know, some of those chants call the angels. It's beautiful. So I listen to that. I do yoga in the morning. There I have a routine that I do because I know that my soul needs food, right? And that's the food for my soul. My soul meaning my heart, right? That's the food for my heart. Remembering all these things inside myself, giving myself love. It's a constant every single day. That's what I do every day. I do it every single morning. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. Some days I want to sleep in. Some days I don't want to get out of bed. Some days I don't feel like doing stretching. Some days I don't feel like, any of it. But I do it anyway because I know that it feeds my heart. And that I know where I was. I know where I came from. I know the person that was in that previous life I lived. And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be suffering anymore. There's so many things I could suffer over, but I don't. I mean, I've had a boatload of people die in my life. My mom, my brother, my sister, all my grandparents are gone. Uh, all my uncles on my dad's side, all my aunts on my dad's side. I mean, I've had a lot of death in my life. I could sit in sorrow and suffering over that, but I choose not to. Why? Because I know the truth about things. The truth. The truth is, none of us are going to get out of this life alive. Truth is, from the moment we're born, we start the dying process. That's a truth. When you think about it, the moment you take your first breath, that dying process starts. So if you know that, there's no reason to be sad about it, right? You just know a truth and you're like, okay, that's a fact of life. A fact of life is death. So I know this, so I don't suffer over it. Good for them. They don't have to they don't have to be in this COVID world today, right? I mean, if we think about things in a different way, we're always taught to think about, oh, that's sad. So and so died. Oh, that's sad. Why is it sad? Why is it sad? The only reason it's sad is because we're going to miss them, right? So what is that? That's an attachment we've made to create suffering inside ourselves. You don't have to miss them. You don't have to miss them. They're in your heart. If they were in your life, they're in your heart, right? They're there. So you're missing the physical, right? This body, but this is still very much alive inside of you. So there's no reason to feel bad or sad. You can celebrate it, You can say, good for you. You don't have to suffer anymore. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Because if we're feeling bad that somebody's gone that was suffering, whoa, That's our ego. It's a sneaky sneak. See, it's a sneaky sneak. It will sneak up on you. We feel bad for ourselves. Ah, that's a strange way to look at it, but it's true because we've been taught not to look at it that way, but it's truth. So if you look at truth, truth is truth. So if you look at the truth, you don't have to suffer over it. You can just say, oh, well, that's true. That's true. Right? And then you can go on. You know the truth. You know what's going to happen. You know when, okay, you're not going to leave this world alive. Nobody does, right? So you know that truth. So you don't have to like be sad about it. Just go, okay, that's true. That's true. And then give yourself some love. Loving kindness, loving kindness, loving kindness. When you give yourself loving kindness, then you can give it to others. Changes the world, it does, right? It does. We forget this. And I say this every single week, but it needs to be said every single week because we do forget it every single week. We forget to have that love inside your heart for yourself. We forget to do things the things that we need to do for ourselves. It's not that I do these things for anyone else. Like I don't get up at 4:00 in the morning for someone else, right? I do it for myself because I've learned to love myself. I've learned that loving myself requires me to do things that I would do for other people, right? Like we think about it and we give to other people all the time. We give our time, we give, things. We're giving to other people all the time. But when it comes to ourselves, what are we doing? Are we giving as much effort to ourselves as we are to other people? Are we giving as much kindness to ourselves as we are to other people? Are we speaking the kind things inside of us that we speak to other people? And if the answer is no, then we need to start doing it, right? We need to start saying, oh, even if you had a bad week or a bad day or whatever, then you just go, oh, you know what? Like I said last night, when you see a baby and they're learning to walk and they fall, right? I've read this somewhere. I don't know where. I think it was on Facebook, and they fall. We don't say, oh, you fell. We say, oh, good job. You did a couple steps. Come on, get up. Let's do it again, right? That's what we do. But do we do that to ourselves? Usually when we slip up and we suffer a little bit, then we go into ourselves and we talk about how bad we are for not staying on track. I'm not telling you to feel bad about that. I'm saying just do stuff to keep yourself on track. And if you do go down that road a little bit, then you got to give yourself some love to get out of it. Criticizing yourself is not going to get you out of it. It's going to make you go in it even further. You have to give yourself some love. I'm not saying don't speak truth to yourself. You got to speak truth to yourself too. You got to be truthful. See, it's a balancing act, right? You have to balance everything. And it seems so complicated, but it's really not that complicated. It's not. Like, there's a sheet of 8 things you do, right? We do 8 things all the time. Before we ever leave the house, we do more than 8 things, right? Every day. So just that right there will bring you out of suffering. Just that. But then once you get out of suffering, you got to give yourself a little love. You got to love yourself. And that is like one of the hardest things for people to do. Really, I've noticed that it's a difficult thing for them. So I don't know exactly, I try every week to try to give everybody love from my heart. I try to give it to them and I try to explain it to them. But, one day when I was in the mountains with Master Tong Bai, and he has love in his heart, like you can feel it when you walk into the room. He was like upset with his monks and nuns. He said, "Some of you have been here 30 years. What do I have to do to make you understand how to love inside your heart, what to do, how to I don't know what else to do." And it's like when you have it, when you feel it in your heart, you want other people to be able to feel that. You want other people to feel that love that you have inside for themselves. Like you want to be able to give it to somebody and say, "Here, feel this for yourself, inside yourself. Here, everybody, you just feel it inside yourself. Feel that love inside yourself." But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. And you can't just give it to somebody and have them feel it. They feel your love. They don't feel their own love for themselves. So I try each week to say something. I say the same thing kind of, but I try to say it in a different way so that maybe somebody it will hit their heart in another way and they'll get it. They'll get it inside their heart. But the only way to do it is the love for yourself. You have to learn to love yourself unconditionally. Like, you know, you can't judge yourself. We all go through things in our life, and if we judge ourselves, then we're putting ourselves down. So the only way to do it is to love yourself unconditionally. So to accept the things that you have done or that you do sometimes and change your heart, right? Start to change your heart, start to give loving kindness to yourself, and those things will start being less and less. That's the only way I know. I'm trying hard to explain it in a way that can be understood because it's something deep inside your heart that you have to look for. You have to want it. You have to um, give up the things that hurt you. And that's a hard one sometimes because sometimes we're attached to the things that hurt us. But sometimes we have to give it up to take care of ourselves, to love ourselves, to be kind to ourselves. And that is when the miracles happen, when you start being loving and kind to yourself. And I'm not talking about ego. Ego is something totally different than loving yourself. Being kind, knowing that you're a good person, knowing that your heart is good, knowing that you are beautiful inside your heart. Stop looking at the outside of yourself. Stop looking at the things look inside. We hardly ever look inside our own heart and see that beauty that's in there. Like they're all the same. We're all connected. We don't even know that we're connected and we're connected. And on the retreat, we felt that connection, right? It was a beautiful thing. It was a connection. The hearts were connecting without anything, we didn't have to even talk. We could feel the love in the room. It was a beautiful thing. So if we can see past everything outside of us, past our physical being, into this heart. In Thai, they call it the mind. And I say this because sometimes my Thai friends watch this. So in Thai, we call it the mind. In America, we call it the heart. Thai call it the mind because their mind and their heart are connected. Once we connect this and this, you have knowledge, you have this. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And so if we can just remember to like eliminate all the outside things that wreak havoc in us and just focus on this loving kindness in our heart, the real, what's real inside of you. Focus on that. Feel that. And when you do, the world will change. The world. Like, it's an amazing thing. There's many, many, many people the same, that think the same, that do the same, right? But if you do this, the world starts to change. And that's the only way the world will change, is through this. And that's truth. We've been fighting wars from the beginning of time. It hasn't worked. The only thing that really works is loving kindness. So we have to let go of all these attachments to the things that are creating havoc in our life. And we have to start just marinating the heart that we have, the love that we have inside our heart. Marinate that. Make it the forefront in your thoughts. This heart of loving kindness, of goodness, it's so precious. If you can remember that, then things in your life will start changing. The suffering will go away. You will have this loving kindness that is just generating all the time. And it's very, very beautiful. And it's like, it becomes hard in a way because you want everybody to feel it. You start wanting everybody, here, I want you to feel this. But not everybody does at the same time. So we have to be patient. We have to be patient. We have to be patient with ourselves because we get a little cray-cray sometimes inside ourselves. So we have to be patient, loving, and kind. So I think we should do a little metta meditation in honor of loving ourselves. So I'm going to play the metta, which is this beautiful little thing. And it lasts about 9 minutes. I want you to get comfortable. You can sit on the floor. You can sit on a chair. You can, I prefer that you don't lay down because normally we'll go to sleep if we lay down. And so I would rather you sit up so that you can get your breath flowing inside of you. And just know that you are loved inside of yourself. So I'm going to play this metta chant and we'll just sit in quiet. And every now and then I'll remind you to be in loving kindness, to take a breath, to love yourself. So here we go. We're going to take a breath in through your stomach. You're going to feel your stomach go out. And when you let your breath out, your stomach will go in. Just allow yourself to be in this beautiful space that we're in. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Knowing that you are loved in this space. Feel your heart. Breathing in, loving kindness. Breathing out anything that does not serve you. Breathing in, loving kindness. Breathing out anything that does not serve you. You're sitting up, sit up straight, let your arms, your shoulders just relax. Put your hands in your lap. Breathing in through your stomach. Breathing out, your stomach will go down. Feeling the love inside your heart. And breathing out. Giving yourself loving kindness. Knowing your heart. Getting familiar with your heart. Feel the love inside your heart. Kindness that you have. Breathing in loving kindness. Breathing out anything that does not serve you. Breathing in loving kindness. Breathing out anything that does not serve you. Fill your heart with love. Forgive yourself for anything. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. And breathing out. Breathing in loving kindness. Breathing out anything that does not serve. Breathing in loving kindness. Breathing in loving kindness. Breathing out anything that does not serve you. Feel the love in your heart. Breathing in loving kindness. Breathing out anything that does not serve you. Breathing in loving kindness. Breathing out anything that does not serve you. Allowing yourself to stay inside your heart, seeing the beauty of your heart, loving kindness. Now take a breath in, slowly let it out. Take another breath in, slowly let it out. One more time, deep breath in and out. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Hello, Vanessa. Beautiful, beautiful. Everyone is beautiful. Remember that. Your heart is a beautiful place to be. Be in your heart. No more struggles. Just allow yourself to love yourself. And I guess that's it for tonight. Hopefully everybody gained something from it and will love yourself tonight. All right. I will see you next week, Tuesday for class, Wednesday for meditation. We may be changing those dates soon because I help a friend out, Sai Tongue Paratai. And depending on what their son's schedule is, I'm gonna try to help them on the days that he's not there. So, because they need help. So, all right, I will let you know on that. And be safe, love yourself, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will see you soon.